professional.
I know, we try to come through, huh?
It rarely happens.
No. It never happens.
Welcome back to our channel, and we are back again. Let's call ourselves your favorites.
Whether they want to or not.
Yeah, like,
at this point,
you don't even have an option.
Yeah.
Your favorites are here, Doreen and Nema, to bring you. We have a name, by the way, to bring you the best on what we go through on a daily basis. Karibuni sana. We had like a number of comments, feedback from the past sessions, which we take them in, and we really like to hear more on what people would tell someone who's coming out of university and stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We have, I do have a blog, so you can comment more. And
it's really interesting.
She is actually most involved in the blog, but anyways.
Background people,
you can reach to us and tell us more.
Absolutely.
Today, we're coming to you, professional people, looking all professional wise. You know, people will feel like nimekodi for this.
Absolutely, I'm a for this. Let me assure you. Just suggested, but I'm assuring you. Okay.
So we're coming to you, talking to you. This is too much.
I know,
but today's topic is on interview tips.
Absolutely.
So it's all about interview and what we went through, what we think someone else will learn from us, and what we think is like the better way for you to like prepare to your interview.
Absolutely. So we are not experts, but it's just one among those things which is something that our channel is really basing its basis on. It's the fact that we want relativity to be pushed out there.
Wow.
If you can relate to us, you can literally relate to anybody.
Yeah, it really, I knew that you're going to keep this word somewhere along.
But you were like waiting for it.
When is this going to
When is it? And then it finally dropped.
Yeah, and then like a bombshell,
Yeah.
Anyway, so as always, we have questions that are going to guide us as we talk about the things that matter more. First questions first. How was your first interview?
Do you want to go with this, or should I?
Asked you a question and you're telling me.
I'm just asking,
Are you like trying to run away from it?
Okay, this isn't a vivid idea of what you should do in your interview. When your interviewer is asking you questions, you don't ask the question back. But Anyway, back to that question. How was my first interview? My first interview.
Which was your first interview?
I think intercourse. Am I allowed to say?
Okay.
But it was a firm that I still work with.
Wow.
in Tanzania, and it's currently, I think, one among the best consulting companies in Tanzania in engineering. Yeah, I really like their department, and I'm not doing marketing for them, but I'm just saying that it is quite amazing to work with them because of how they embrace growth of a young fellow in their company. So that was my first interview. It was 2 years back. And
how was it? Like, what would you change from your first interview?
What would I change?
Like, how was it? Did you just wake up in the morning and be like, yeah?
No, I thought about it almost 3 months ago.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like 3 months before.
Wait, did you go through like the internet and started first questions on interview? And then they give you like all of those questions?
Not really. I think for me it was easier because I worked there for my field. Like when I was still at school.
So you didn't go all through the struggle, man.
So I didn't go through that struggle in a way, I have those that I've done after that one, but the question was, how was my first interview? That's why I'm like answering this one. But it wasn't such a struggle for me in a way, even though they asked me such a tricky question and they said, how long do you want to stay with our company? And
so were you prepared? Were you like well prepared?
To answer that question?
To answer all questions.
To answer all the other questions, absolutely. But to answer that question, that one was tricky for me. Because in my head, I already have a direction where I was going to go back to school. Even though I didn't know it was, when was it going to come, but I really already knew. So it's quite tricky to tell your employer that you can employ me, I can do this stuff, but I'm going to leave you after 1 year or something.
Yeah, I feel like that's the reason they kept that question for you.
I know. Oh my God, yes. So how was your first?
My first interview, I can't trace it back to when my first interview was because I started interning from, I'm sure interning is also interviewing.
It is.
So I started interning since I was in my first year of uni. I really don't remember if I want to know. My first interview, I remember. Like, the back I can go for my first interview is like with this law firm. I was also going to intern. And then this one was like, okay, come for an interview. I'm like, wow, you guys are serious.
Okay.
I sent CV. I sent
cover letter.
I sent the cover letter. I sent, like, I had like 4 or 5 things already.
Documents.
So I was like,
including birth certificates, or that was not yet.
Okay, now we're going to hire it.
Okay.
It was just an intern.
Okay.
But then this lady, and I knew I wanted to intern at this particular law firm. It's one of the best. I knew I wanted to intern in this particular same law firm. So I applied very early. And then by the time I wanted to now go for the internship, she then told me, it was already years. She then told me, okay, you have to come for an interview. So I prepared myself. I googled interview questions. I did all things.
Madam making a list.
I had sleepless nights. I had a notebook filled with answers that I'm going to answer.
Okay, you went through it.
It was like hard. And then that was the first time I'm wearing like not a suit, but a skirt.
Like a proper attire.
A proper legal attire.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was interesting. What I would tell myself back then is just best interviews are communications. So best interviews are literally you communicating with the interviewer.
Yes.
They want to know more about you, same as how you want to know more about them. So just take it as communication. Stop memorizing interview questions. Don't memorize, just know the basics. When you go, that's first thing. So best interviews are communications, and second is do your homework before the interview. Don't concentrate so much on interview questions, but concentrate more on what the company is doing or what that particular place you're going is working. What are their culture? What do they actually do on a daily basis? What can you say? What can you add value to?
So somebody tell me, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's just one among those things that during an interview, like, no answer is right and no answer is wrong.
Yeah, there's that.
Is that true?
Yes. So I have seated in a lot of interviews because I also work in HR. So I've been.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, are you trying to do that?
No, but but now I think okay.
I didn't want to call myself an expert.
Okay, expert.
Okay. So in most of the interview session, you will find like a panel of people. So let's say a panel of 5 people, and then we provide you something called interview score sheet. So in that score sheet, you will find like most of the questions that we ask, or in particular characters, or we divide them in different phases, and then in all those questions, all panelists can answer. So let's say you did 5 in a question, you answer 5. So we can't say that you answered wrong. Yeah. But in most circumstances, that's how we determine how good you are.
Okay. So,
yes,
so they were right to an extent.
Yeah,
That's
very true.
Okay.
Very true.
Okay. So that answered the second question as well?
Yeah, that answered the second question. Second question was, what did you tell your first interview self? So that lady who was going in with skirt in nyeusi na koti, what would I tell her? You know?
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 years, 6 years.
Absolutely. But it's very important to just research on the background onto the company. Yeah. It's just prepare yourself. Yeah. Even though I say
do your homework.
Absolutely. Even though we capitalize on the fact that there's no right or wrong answer, but do your homework.
Yes, definitely do your homework. We have people who come for interviews and we ask them, okay, so what do you think we do? And they can't even answer us that. Because as much as there's a possibility that the company doesn't have as much of the internet or as much when you Google about it, but just do your homework. Yes. Make calls, do whatever just understand which company you're going for and what do they actually do.
Absolutely, that's nice.
The third question is, what would you tell someone that is going for an interview right now? Apart from do your homework?
Apart from do your homework. I feel this is a really good question for you because now that I know that you are an expert, I forgot.
Stop calling me an expert. Okay. But 2 things. First, we can't see your personality. We can't dig into your heart and see who you are. So the way you present yourself to us, it's how we understand who you are. So if you have to vunja kabati, do that. If you have to kwazima nguo, do that. If you have to do anything, like your appearance is what we see, or like is what an interviewer sees. They can't see, like they definitely can't see your personality.
So you guys actually expect these things?
I'm not telling you what we expect, but I'm just telling you what you're better off if you do.
Oh, if you do, okay.
Because when you go to someone, as much as they will listen to what you're telling us, then if you're wearing shagalabaga, you want to convince me that you're good at
absolutely.
Second question is second advice.
Advice
is wear your confidence at top notch.
Yeah.
I have seen a number of people that have been employed just because of their confidence. It wasn't because they have as much things as we expect, but it was because they can answer, they can
it's one among those environments where you can't leave your confidence.
Yes, I mean, carry it, my friend. For that day, have it in your bag, remove it, wear it, use it for a minute, and then
put it aside when you're done.
Like for that particular day, use your confidence. Like just be confident. Just understand that it's okay if you lose the job, and then do your best at it.
Well, yeah. That's actually really nice.
So just because you're not doing it doesn't make you not answer this question. So what would you tell someone that is going for an interview today?
She called on me, guys.
You think I realize that?
I thought you did realize, which would be so nice. Anyway, what I would tell somebody that is going for an interview, I think just capitalizing on what already she's saying, I would say try a little best to be a learner of everything around whatever that is dealing with your interview. Like, I know you know stuff. I know, like, you already know your, marketing and finance, whatever, or law and, engineering and stuff. Like, I know you know that. But try to be a learner. Try to ask people around, even though you've already practiced so much, always try to diminish your level into a lower one than trying to bring it up and then going to an interview thinking, I'm great.
Yeah, very true.
That's all I'll say. I think it's something that I struggle with in particular. Just always trying to bring, and sometimes it backfires. I'm not saying that sometimes it doesn't backfire, because sometimes people are like, I need to be confident and this is how I'm supposed to go towards it, which is what you said, and I definitely capitalize on that. But I'm always like, when you are a learner, sometimes it works into your advantage. Just to say, for example, the Excel example that I gave into the other episode, and try to say to yourself, okay, I don't know this, but I'll be here, even during the weekends, to just work on Excel, learn Excel. Yeah. I think that's also one among the traits that you guys can take people.
It's actually more important to bring your learning sense into the interview. So as much as, yes, you know a lot of things, but then you can't know everything,
Yeah.
And it's a new company, it's new people, you really have to learn a lot. Okay. So you bring also your learning self into the interview.
Yeah, sure.
The last question was general tips on interview, which we have provided us.
Absolutely. So much.
My last one would be in all interviews, or in a lot of interviews that you go to, there is a big possibility that you've already read the job description.
Yes.
Understand it very well.
Yes.
So when you're going in, and just understand what the job you're applying for wants you to do, and tell us more according to the job description. And ask questions.
Yes, very important.
Ask a lot of questions.
I think a lot of us try to skip, when you go to a website of a company or something like that, and you see FAQ, the frequently asked questions, right? And a lot of people just skip that. I feel there's so much gems into frequently asked questions than people would rather talk about. Yeah. So I feel if you have a website like that, or if you can access, just try to go through them. They will really save you.
Wow, this was interesting and hard in a way.
Yes.
So again, thank you very much for watching and being with us. Please tell us more.
Absolutely.
What are the
comments,
things
what
that
would
you
you
tell someone who's going for an interview today? A lot of people, I'm sure, are struggling when they're going for an interview. I am so struggling when I go for interviews.
Thank you.
As much as I know.
Thank you. Yes.
So I hope this video is just going to help someone out there.
I hope so. And if you have any questions, just throw them at us. Comment. Yes, and don't forget to share,
like,
and subscribe
to our channel. We'll meet you next time.
In the next episode, where we look less professional.
Yeah, yes.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.